Hello, and thanks for joining us for another virtual book club moment. This is going to be another awesome and exciting time. I want you, if you would, please take this time to share this even right now with someone that needs to know what is going on in the life of authors all over this nation. Every week, we're going to make sure that we bring you the best that we can possibly find. And today, we have nothing short of an amazing author in the person of Krystle Saulsberry is here with us today. Can you help me greet her? Krystle, how are you today?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
I am doing good. I am doing good. Tired of being cooped up in the house, but other than that, we are good. So since we are all locked in the house, this is a good time to start reading books, huh? So, so now
Absolutely.
you are an accomplished author. Tell me how many books you have written already uh, to this date.
To this day, I have written a total of 5 books.
Wow.
Absolutely.
All right. So tell us a little bit about you and how you got to the place where you are writing 5 books.
Absolutely. Well, a little background about myself. Of course, my name is Krystle Saulsberry. I am originally from a little small town in Randolph County called Roanoke, Alabama.
Okay.
Born and raised there. From there, I went on to college at Jacksonville State University, where I have a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science with a double minor in Spanish and Business and Technical Writing.
Okay.
I have a master's from Auburn University at Montgomery with a degree in public administration with a concentration in nonprofit management and leadership. From there, I worked in local government for 10 years, and I decided to step out on faith and become self-employed and go into this world of entrepreneurship. And it's been such a blessing to really walk in my purpose and really do the things God has called me to do. When it comes to writing, honestly, I've been writing pretty much since maybe middle school because I always kept a diary. I always wrote things down. I've always loved to really get my thoughts out on paper. So back in, I want to say 2013, my godmother had encouraged me to write a book because backstory on me, I'm in the pageantry industry. I've been in that industry for over 18, well, this year will be 18 years. I know I don't look like it, but it's been 18 years. And so I've been a contestant. Then I transitioned to being a coach, working behind the scenes. And my godmother was saying, you should write a book about being in the pageantry industry so you can help other women and girls be successful in the industry. And I was like, okay, I think I'll do it. So I started writing in 2013. Honestly, I didn't finish the book until 2017 because, like most people, life happens, you
Right.
procrastinate, things happen in your life that, I pushed it to the back burner. And I decided, in 2017, when I stepped out on faith and quit my job and became a full-time entrepreneur, I said, I'm getting it done. No,
Right.
no more excuses. I have the time now to really focus on the things that I want to do. So in
Okay.
2017, I decided to finish the book.
Mhm.
Um, and it was ready for publishing. I want to say August of 2017 when I released it, and I was released on Amazon, and it became an Amazon bestseller within a couple of days.
Okay.
So it has
Great.
been an awesome journey. The name of the book is called Manifest the Crown, a
Okay.
crystal clear guide to pageantry success. And the book is pretty much a self-help guide for any woman or girl who is interested in the pageantry industry but don't know where to start. And I'm giving them some tips and some insight on my own personal journey in the industry and how they can be successful in manifesting their own crown. Now, my
Ooh.
other two books, other few books that I have are Affirm the Queen, 50
Okay.
affirmations that empower women and girls for success. I am big on affirmations. I believe that you should speak life to yourself, that you should speak positive things over yourself, because if you have a healthy mindset, you're able to accomplish great things in this world. So I
Yes.
created 50 affirmations that I created that a woman, a girl, whoever can say to themselves every day. They can write it down. They can say it in front of the mirror to really
Mhm.
get that mindset going, to really being able to live in that space of positivity and knowing that you can accomplish great things if you believe. My
Right.
next book was called Kingdom Finances, which has nothing to do with pageantry or self-esteem, but I'm really big on people in general getting their money together.
Right.
I'm a financial coach. I was able to become debt free before at age 31. So I'm really big on teaching people how to handle their money. And the book
Right.
is called Kingdom Finances. It's 40 financial principles that empower you to properly manage money. These are key financial principles that are based in scripture, that are based on pretty much my own personal journey with money. So in order for people to win with money, they have to practice key principles. So I wrote this book of
Right.
principles for people to not only learn them, but put them into practice in order for them to win with money. My next book was called Cash for the Crown. And the reason why I wrote that book is because I would have a lot of clients in the industry, pageantry industry, that would come to me and say, Krystle, I want to be in a pageant, but it's too expensive. How can I pay for this? So I said, you know what? I'm going to create a book about it because, like I said, I love finding innovative ways to pay money, innovative ways to barter, to, you know, find a sale, what have you. So I created a book for people in my industry on effective ways to pay for their pageantry expenses. It's called Cash for the Crown. And of course, my latest book is called Intangible Crowns, and I have a copy of it right here.
Cool.
And it's Intangible Crowns, 7 Essential Qualities for the Godly Reign. And the purpose for this particular book was I wanted to write a book specifically for women and girls. And as you can, I've said that repeatedly because God has called me to women and girls. That is my ministry. And I wanted to write a book to teach them how to effectively reign in their lives, whether it be in their marriage, whether it be in the community, whether it be in academia, whether it be even in the pageantry industry. These are some key qualities that I know that one should possess in order to have an effective and impactful reign. So those are my books in a nutshell. All
right, good. So with the Intangible Crown, one of the things that you said that was important to you was the importance of self-esteem. So it's fun. Talk to us about how important self-esteem is even now for young women and women who may not be so young.
Absolutely. Self-esteem is everything when it comes to your journey in life, whether it comes to your work ethic, reigning in the workplace, being an entrepreneur. If you do not have a healthy view of who you are, then you cannot accomplish great things in life. And I say that because I am a living testimony, because there was a point in my life as early as middle school, high school, where I didn't have the best outlook on who I was, and I didn't have the best self-esteem. And because of that, it limited me from accomplishing the things I knew God had for me. So I had to do a lot of work on myself, a lot of praying, a lot of reading scriptures, a lot of reciting affirmations until I actually started believing them. It's one thing to say something, but you have to say it enough so you eventually start believing them, and also coming into the understanding of seeing myself the way God sees me. And a lot of times it's a journey. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in 2 days. Sometimes it takes years. And if you don't have a healthy outlook on yourself, then you can't rise above. And that's very important, because if you want to truly reign, when I say reign, I mean of course, in the royalty realm, we talk about, reigning, holding a royal office. If you're going to be that leader, you have to believe in yourself, and you have to have a healthy outlook on yourself.
Yes. All right. And talk to us a little bit about what integrity means to you and how important it is for a woman to be a woman of integrity.
Absolutely. Integrity in a nutshell is are you an honest, are you a truthful person? Do you live a truthful life? I know a lot of times in the age of social media, I'm just going to put it out there. We tend to live a life that's not always the most honest life. We show what we think others will like to see. And that's just the norm here. We want people to see our highlight reels, and I get that. But we have to be, even against social media, we have to be able to live our true, authentic selves. And if people cannot truly receive you, if you're not coming from an authentic place, if you're not coming from a truthful place, so how can you be a leader? How can you reign if you're not honest? And a lot of times people think, well, I've won before without telling the truth, but that will only get you so far.
Right. All right. So in this age where we see that there is a breakdown in the communication gap between older women and younger women, how important is wisdom during this time that we're in right now, especially when we see young women who seemingly have no guidance, have, living life kind of like wilding out, doing their own thing. How important is wisdom to those who need it right now?
Wisdom is crucial, especially during this season, not just during the season, but just in life in general. At the end of the day, I don't know it all. They don't know it all. We all have to glean from somebody and something. And for me, I get a lot of my wisdom, of course, from, my elders, my mother, and of course, just by reading the scripture as well, because it's full of wisdom in the word of God. And it's important that as women, whether we're young and old, we sometimes have to die to ourselves and understand that we do need help. And there's some things we don't know. Just because I'm 35 doesn't mean I know everything, or because someone is 45, they know more than a 25-year-old. Because, you know, I look at wisdom, it has nothing to do with age, because I've seen some 25-year-olds that are wiser than some 50-year-olds, believe it or not. So it is very crucial to really understand that, you know, in order to really be a success in life, you have to glean from people that has already gone where you're going. So you can learn from their successes, their failures, so you can kind of map up your own plan and be successful in that area of your life. Good.
Now, you've been in the pageantry industry for how long again? You said 18 years?
18 years this month.
Wow. So it's your anniversary of
It
the
is my
pageantry
anniversary
industry.
month, yes.
So how can you use, what tools or tips can you use in the pageant that you take from the pageantry industry and apply it to your everyday life that could be helpful? Some things that you learned along the way that you use in the pageantry, as well as you can use as life tools.
Absolutely. My business in the pageantry industry is called Krystle Clear Pageantry, and the 3 tenets of that business is to teach people how to have a winning mindset, make a good presentation, and develop self-confidence. And of course, you can take that in anywhere in life. And of course, like I said earlier, you got to have that winning mindset. I tell girls this all the time. I said, I don't care how much we rehearse. I don't care how much money you spend on a gown, makeup, hair. If you do not believe you're going to win that title, we have rehearsed for nothing. Because you've already lost the competition because you do not have that winning mindset. And that goes for just anything in life. If you don't believe that you can achieve that goal, if you don't believe that you can do that job or run that business, then you've already failed. You have to have that winning mindset. Going to making a good presentation, how you present yourself to the world, you know, even from your hair to your makeup to your dress, that all that is important, because eventually, you know, in the pageantry world, we teach that to our girls, of course, looking presentable on stage. Of course, eventually you're going to get a job. You're going to go to an interview. You have to be presentable. You can't just show up looking, I'm just going to be honest, any kind of way. I know that sounds you know, so that's one thing I teach, and developing that self-confidence. Once you have that winning mindset, once you have made that good presentation, you're able to get on stage and be confident in who you are. And like I said earlier, that confidence can transfer to other areas of your life, whether it be your job, whether it be your entrepreneur endeavors, whether it be, you know, any leadership position that you may want to obtain. So it's very transferable, all those things. And also, I want to add even the communication aspect of it. We're really big on teaching girls how to interview properly, how to speak well, how to be media ready. And of course, you know, even outside of the pageantry world, you want to be able to interview well. You want to be able to communicate. That's very important. You want to be able to, for instance, if you're out and about and then the media's around, they may tap you to interview you. You need to be media ready. So it's very important.
Yeah. So with the communication, is there an area of hurt that hurts you when you hear how girls talk to each other nowadays and how, you know, women may interact with each other, that makes you wish you could just kind of take them and pull them in a room and really, you know, teach them, when you listen to the communication, you know, that women sometimes have for one another?
Absolutely. The cursing, that's one thing. You hear, I hear that a lot with girls. And even, I know we being from the South, because I'm from the South as well, we have a tendency to use a lot of slang. I get that, but there's a time and a place for that. And a lot of times girls think, well, I'm just going to be who I am. This is me. I get that, but there are certain things for certain times. You know, you can't bring the slang to the pageant stage. You can't bring the slang to your job interview. And you have to practice those things at home. So you've already practicing them, and it's become a second nature. So when you're in that interview room, when you're in front of the camera, then you know how to transfer that communication style.
Good. If there's a young lady who may be watching today that may be suffering from low self-esteem, may be feeling, you know, like they're not worthy of some things, or don't have the confidence that you talk about, what are some ways to help not just encourage herself, but maybe some women who are watching? What are some ways that we can really reach these young people who are at a place in life where they're almost trying to figure life out for themselves? What would you suggest for that young woman who may be feeling like that right now?
Absolutely. One of the biggest tools that helped me well, actually several, but I'm going to specifically name
Yeah.
this one when I get to the other one, was affirmations. And I spoke about this earlier.
Yeah.
I know it sounds silly and people may think, I don't want to say this out loud. I don't want to say this in front of a mirror, but honestly, it works. And and I will say things like, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, or success is my pedigree. These are some of my affirmations in my book. And I would say these things over and over, and I would write them down in my journal. Journaling is another good thing too. Journaling is very therapeutic. And I would write my affirmations in my journal and just really speaking life over yourself. You can't expect for people to treat you a certain way if you don't believe that you are worthy of it. And also, you cannot wait for people to speak life over you. You have to do it for yourself. I'm like, it's great if they do, but don't wait for someone to do it for you. Do it for yourself. Also, reading different types of books, whether it be self-help books, whether it be books, you know, Christian books, whether it be the Bible. I did a lot of reading. Reading is very important. Reading gives us knowledge. Some of my favorite, I read Priscilla Schauer. I read the Bible. You know, different types of whoever you want to read that self-help is going to motivate you. You know, go after that. Reading is very beneficial. I also monitor what I watched. Social media is a good and a bad thing, but it can be toxic. So sometimes you have to take breaks because you'll see something and it'll trigger you a certain way. Like, for instance, I'm guilty of this, and I'm just going to be transparent. There are times in my life where I'll see something on social media that I see, you know, of course you want to celebrate everyone's wins, but then you wonder to yourself, well, why hasn't it happened for me? And sometimes when you have that mindset, and you feeling like that, then it's time to take a break, because you shouldn't be feeling like that. You know, just because someone is succeeding doesn't mean that you're a failure. That just means it's not your time. So sometimes you have to take those breaks from social media. Sometimes you have to watch what you listen to, watch what you watch, you know, of course, watching on TV. Also understanding who you are in Christ. And I know a lot of people, I know that sounds, you know, easy to say, but I think a lot of times people deal with self-esteem issues because they don't know who they are. And it takes time to really develop who you are. And also I want to say is other people's opinion of you does not matter. And I think we put so much weight on what others think about you, but at the end of the day, it does not matter. Their opinions do not matter. So take some time to really, you know, marinate in that and just really think about it. At the end of the day, their opinion does not matter. If God is pleased, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I think one of the hardest things is we have replaced self-esteem with their esteem, right? We measure ourselves based on how other people feel about us, when the actual matter is, how do you feel about who you are? Forget, you know, whatever they feel, whatever they think. Sometimes you gotta, you know, you have to be confident, secure in who you are, right? So in the qualities of a godly reign, is there anything that you want to leave with us that would be a lasting impression to how we're to have a godly reign, or how women are to have a godly reign as well?
Some things I want to leave with the audience is to know who you are and don't compromise. It's so easy to compromise because we're in a society where everything goes, everything's popular, but you have to know yourself, and you have to know what is pleasing to God. You have to know what is pleasing to yourself. And also, and I'll say this, if you know your mother would not want you doing that, then you probably shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it. And you want to live a life of integrity. You want to have self-esteem. You want to have wisdom. You want to, and I talk about this in my book, you want to be modest. And modesty is not always about how you dress. And that's one aspect of it. But you want to be modest. You want to show people that you are humble, that you don't think, that you're not arrogant, that you think you know everything, you know. Of course, you want to dress modestly because you want people to receive you at the end of the day. And if you doing something where people can't receive you and receive the God in you, then you can't have an effective reign. You can't impact means. You cannot walk in your purpose.
Okay. Good. All right. Final thoughts before we leave. And I want you to know we are excited about not just the first 4 books, but this last book, The Intangible Crowns. And you said this came out when?
This Intangible Crowns came out September 30th, actually September 30th, 2019.
Wow, September 30th, 2019. And then, you know, this year we have had, you know, COVID to hit. And so I want people to to be able to reach out and to at least support you and your books, how can they reach you and how can they get your products?
Absolutely. You can go to my website at www.krystleclearpageantry.com.
Okay.
And Krystle is spelled Krystle, little
Okay.
different. And also, you can get the book. You can go there, click on the books link, and you'll find the link to all the different books. But however, if you don't want to go to that website, you can always go to Amazon. All of my books, actually 4 of the books are on Amazon, on my Amazon store. So that website is www.amazon.com/author/Krystle Bell Saulsberry.
Okay. Great, great, great. Any final thoughts you want to leave with the people that are watching even right now?
Final thoughts is to just go after the things that God has put on your heart. You know, you can accomplish anything. One of my favorite scriptures in the Bible is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, which is actually one of my, I use that as an affirmation as well. And even during this season, this pandemic, I know people, you know, are struggling. Things are just very different right now. But there are a lot of preachers, a lot of pastors that prophesied in the beginning that 2020 was the year of clear vision, and I'm here to tell you, it is still the year of clear vision.
Absolutely.
Regardless of what is going on, God still has us. He is still on the throne, and you can still accomplish great things, and you still can have an impactful reign if you do the work and if you possess the qualities that God wants you to possess.
All right, great. One last thing, we have people who are in the process of writing a book, people who have been thinking about writing a book. What advice would you give to those of us who are either in the process of writing and is getting to a place where, you know, well, I started here, but then it took me this long, or people who just have a book inside of them that are thinking about writing a book? What advice would you give to both of those groups?
This is very simple. Start. And I'm not saying, I don't want to say that to just sound, you know, cliche, but I'm going to be honest. That's all you have to do is put pen to paper and just start. Whether you want to pen to paper, I know it's old school, or you want to get on your laptop and type. I do both because I'm still old school. But just start and set a time each day to write your manuscript, write your book. 15 minutes a day. I tell this, I've actually coached our authors before. 15 minutes a day. Okay. I'm pretty sure we all have 15 minutes in a day. I know we're busy, but we can carve out 15 minutes in a day. It's not a lot. And just write in that book. And also, don't filter yourself. A lot of people try to, when they're writing, I'm thinking, well, I shouldn't put this or I shouldn't put that. No, don't do that. Do not filter yourself and write from an authentic place. Good. Be truthful. Tell your story. It's your story. You know, it doesn't matter if someone gets mad at you for telling your story. At the end of the day, it's your story. And if you write from an authentic place, people will receive it. And like I said, I also create a deadline. That was one of the biggest things that I did not do when I first started writing Manifest the Crown. I didn't put a deadline in place. Okay. But in 2017, I decided, Krystle, this book is going to be done by August of 2017. And I got it done August of 2017. So create a deadline. Whether your deadline is 6 months from now, a year from now, create that deadline and stick to that deadline. In order for you to stick to that deadline, guess what? You have to write often, whether it be 15 minutes a day, whether it be 15 minutes every other day. Stick to a plan and execute. So writing is almost like the equivalent of exercise, right? The more you commit to doing it, the easier it is. How long did it take for you to finish your first book? Oh, it took me a while. It took me 4 years because I started in 2013 and I kept starting and stopping because I wasn't disciplined back then. Right. And but then when 2017 came around, I was like, I'm gonna get it done. And it took me about 4 years to finish it. But then my other books, I finished those in no time because I already had a plan. I put out a deadline. I wrote in my book, you know, whether it been 15 minutes a day or 15 minutes every other day, and I stuck to the plan and I got them done kind of quite quick, very quickly. Good.
Well, this has been a delight, a joy. Thank you so much for joining us on our virtual book club. And listen, make sure you go support Krystle in all of her projects, making sure that you know how important it is to have your crown and how to wear it. Make sure you support her in every way that you can. Remember, I want you to share this even now. There's some young ladies that need to understand the importance of wisdom, that need to understand the importance of integrity, and having good high self-esteem, even in such a time as this. And I want you to look forward to the next virtual book club. It's going to be another amazing time as we bring you authors from all over the nation who share their stories, share their struggles, and share their successes as it relates to the area of books. So make sure every week, every Tuesday at 6 o'clock, we're going to be doing this. So make sure you share this even right now. Look forward to seeing you next week. Enjoy your day. Remember, we love you. Thanks. Goodbye.
Bye.